What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the AM. Welcome to 5 Minute Rants. I'm your host, Michael Abernathy, and I got a special guest with me today. His name is Josh Joseph. What's up, Josh?
Hey, Michael. Happy to be here.
Thanks for coming, man. I really appreciate you coming. So, Josh, for today, one of the things that we talked about was one of the reasons why you got started doing your own thing and doing your own hustle. You want to talk to me about that?
Yeah. It's I mean, it goes back far. Just kind of analyzing myself and job satisfaction, and my earlier jobs, and I'd leave one job and be like, this isn't the same. I kind of miss that other job, and I'd go back to it, and I'd remember just how much I didn't like it. But then I'm like, well, what keeps bringing me back to this? And in some instances, it was like the social aspect, and I was like, oh, I actually have to try a little bit to get more social engagement now that I'm at this more isolatory job. And so, that kind of started me in thinking about job satisfaction in general. And so I started reading books about it here and there, and would move on, stick at that job still for a while, but I'd always kind of like remember the content I consumed about job satisfaction. And I don't know, I'd say that's a good 10 years before I finally just was like, all right, I'm really going to go for a career that I want to go for. I was like, what aspects do I want? And, looking back, I was like, I know I like social aspect of my job. I know I like, these little details. I want things that I can complete and be proud of. And, which meant I had to be intentional, which also kind of pointed me at working for myself in a way. Really choosing the customers I want to work with, doing the work that I enjoy doing and that keeps me engaged. And I started going for digital marketing, and I was like, I want to do a full-time job, and I also want to have 3 clients. And so that was my kind of starting point in getting me to where I'm at right now, which was pretty recent.
That's cool, man. You talked to me too. One thing that you said that really stuck out to me was you told me that if you didn't just try it, you were going to regret it in the next 7 to 10 years. And can you walk me through kind of that whole process too? How you came to that conclusion?
Yeah, it's interesting because just through the introspection, I started learning what I was passionate about, and there were a lot of exercises I did to figure that out. And there was a lot of weeding out what other people told me I should be doing, and me thinking subscribing to that belief versus like intrinsically what I want to do. And been through many things to figure that out. But somehow I started being able to recognize that I would regret not doing things. And usually it was through identifying my passions, be it on paper or something like that. And almost subconsciously, if an opportunity came up, I'd be like, oh no, I don't want to do that. That sounds scary. But it clicked. I was like, there's something in here that I've gone over that I want to do. And but I'm like, but I'm scared to do it. And if I ended up not doing the thing, like let's say I'm a pretty introverted person. I don't really go out and party, and I've been a part of a few things, and they go out and they party afterward. And I'm like, I don't go so many times, and I start regretting it. And then I was like, I'm just gonna make myself go to these things, and I started going to them, been to a few of them. I'm like, I really don't like these. Like I'm kind of kidding myself and thinking I like these things. And so, but I had to try and see if I was gonna regret not hanging out with these people afterward or not. And I ended up not regretting it. But there were other things that I'd go and I'd try, and I was like, I love this. And then another opportunity like that would come up. And if I didn't go, I was like, I now feel, that passion has soured into shame or regret. So
that's cool. That's cool. Cause I think the hardest part in life a lot of times is starting. And I actually think it's really cool because one of the things that you mentioned is you had a lot of jobs. And I think that's really important too, just because the vast experience that you've had going from place to place and learning what you don't like, which is just as much a part of learning what you do like. How do you find yourself, like you mentioned the introspection, and you got 30 seconds for this, so it's not like I'm doing you any favors because I'm asking you at the end. How did you find yourself? Like, what do you do in order to find out like what you're afraid of or what you regret? Like, what's your process for that?
I would say doing a whole moral inventory and kind of being, direct about that intentionally, and learn how to meditate. But there's a great book I read. This one's a short book, but it was Who Moved Your Cheese? And my takeaway for that one was, it's like, what would I do if I wasn't afraid? And so I really try to consider that question, like what I would do with not being behind my eyes, what would I do if I wasn't afraid? And it's like, that sounds like something I would do, like I would enjoy doing. So being able to separate the fear from the passion is tricky, but
Man, but that's so cool. I think that's great. And we're going to leave everybody with that. Like, if you really want to look at yourself like you're standing in somebody else's shoes or through somebody else's eyes, or if you're not afraid. So, man, thanks for joining the show. We're out of time. And I really appreciate you coming on. You want to say goodbye to everybody?
Thanks, Michael. Happy to be here.
You're welcome, man. Thanks for coming. And everybody, I'll catch you next time. Peace.